Most artists think writing songs is the job, but John Robert says the real job is living a life worth writing about.
I think you need to live life in order to be able to write about it.
Explain, what kind of music does he make? And I said, how much time do you have?
It all started in a basement in Virginia where a teenager was teaching himself to make records.
My father would post me doing covers. I got on Ellen and she gave me $5,000 in Guitar Center. That's where I got the money to self-produce.
What was it like the day that you got the message from the label that they were going to be dropping you?
I was closing my shift at Domino's. I got a personal phone call with just that, like, hey, you're being dropped. And it was...
So he moved back to Virginia, built a studio in his parents' basement, and started making music nonstop. John Robert even opened for Liam Gallagher from Oasis, but when the fans couldn't get tickets,
I just went to the park and said, whoever wants to come can come. I'd love to play. Since being independent, you got nothing to lose.
Today, his music has millions of downloads around the world, but the songs came from living the story first. I'm Ben Fanning, and my co-host is Zach Schultz. It's time to get Americana Curious. John Robert, welcome to Americana Curious, my friend.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me. Much appreciated.
You have the distinction that a lot of artists will never have, which is being signed to a label and being dropped from a label, right? You've got both.
Congrats.
What was that like so people understand?
I was closing my shift at Domino's, and I don't want to speak out of term, but I got a personal phone call, which I really appreciate. And just that, like, hey, you're being dropped. And it was weirdly like a funny call. Like, we cracked jokes. There's no ill will. And also, like, situationally, I don't really buck things. So if that's where it ended, I was like, okay, like, I got some feet on the ground and I got like other teammates. But yeah, it wasn't shocking news, and it wasn't necessarily devastating, but it was melancholy as far as, like, I've known these people for a long time. I respect them. And it's just like, just any closing of any chapter. It's very much like a bit remiss, but also like looking ahead. So just kind of caught in that feeling of in between.
So you leave LA, right? And you go back to Shenandoah, and do you immediately start creating and writing at that point?
Yeah, I left so I left LA when the Palisade fires happened, and it was flurrying ash in Echo Park. Very real moment for me of like, I'm losing so much money. I tour and I need to find subletters. I'm basically paying for a glorified storage unit. So I moved before being dropped by a label. I think also being not in the mix in LA is also like a factor as far as like, you need to be like a call away to show up to things. So that's where LA is good. Me, I needed space in a room to where I could be loud. Otherwise, I feel dead inside. And so those were like the chain of events. And as soon as I got home, yeah, man, I just kind of like went for it. I started making things nonstop. Once I'm at my parents' place. It was an unfinished basement. Built a room in here so that there's like, also shout out mom and dad. Thank you for hosting me. It's so good to see you guys again. And thank you for being in my corner forever and always, just as a thing. Put rock wool in the walls and just started making stuff like kind of nonstop to where I couldn't sleep or eat, like just go for it. Cause I just felt like it would help. And also if it went nowhere, like I needed to get it off my chest and feel like I told somebody or made something fun for myself. So yeah, I just like went for it.
John Robert, let's rewind for a second, because before the pizza deliveries, the label deal and rebuilding in your own parents' basement, it all started back in the Shenandoah Valley. Let's bring it all the way back home. You have the distinction of growing up in the Shenandoah Valley, which has inspired so much great Americana music, literally for generations, from the traditional song "Oh Shenandoah," which has been recorded by iconic Americana artists like Bruce Springsteen. And yes, I consider Bruce Springsteen Americana. Old Crow Medicine Show, Trampled by Turtles has got a really cool version of that song. And of course, uh, John Denver gave a huge shout out to the Shenandoah River in Country Roads. Now, no pressure for you, but what was it like growing up? And what is it about the Shenandoah River Valley that inspires such music?
Just the scenery changes in the seasons. The people here, very much like, "Hi, how are you doing? Oh, I had your brother in my class." That kind of vibe. So yeah, my parents are originally from Florida. I moved here when I was like 5. And there's not a lot to do, so you make your own fun. A lot of driving and listening to music for fun. So yeah, I don't know. It's just a beautiful place to grow up. The scenery feels like a backdrop. If I like tap it, it'll fall over, but it's really bona fide. It's really real and tangible.
Is there one of your songs or one of the ones that maybe you wrote early on where you could really kind of feel the Shenandoah River Valley coming through?
I think I wrote a song that's like unreleased called Shenandoah Pines, that people have been kind of taken to, and it's very much in that fanciful finger picking style that I feel like really resonates with the area. And also, when I was coming back from LA, I just dreamed of all the things I would do when I got back home. So I mentioned like the Seven Bends is just the river close by where the river bends 7 times. You know, it's not rocket science. I also mentioned the yard crawl, which is like a valley wide thing where everyone just puts all their junk like on the lawn, and it runs through God, what's the name of the road? It's a huge yard sale from like here to Strasbourg and further. So yeah, just like those little niche cultural, if you know, like touchstones. So yeah, that's where I think it shines the most.
So you're part of this younger wave of folk artists, let's say. I mean, your music, we're going to get deep into it, is not traditional folk, but I would consider you a folk artist. So what parts of like traditional folk Americana music do you feel is important to keep alive?
Oh God. I'll start by saying I worked the late shift at a pizza joint, like closing shift. So it feels incredibly disrespectful to butcher names. But primarily like when it comes to folk music, I like how they're so pro-union. I like how political it can be. I like how much storytelling and emphasis. You use the same chords, but you can tell a new story. And that's what I looked for in like artists like Blaze Foley. And I really respect God, who's the guy who would round up Pete? Oh, there's a dude who would round up a bunch of folk songs. Pete Seeger. Little boxes, and he would tell like children's stories and Coyote. He would do like yodeling. I think I was just really inspired by like him respecting the heritage and sharing it and documenting it. So yeah, just being able, like, the finger picking and the chords anyone can get behind. People are meant to sing. Which side are you on? It's supposed to be rally cries. It's such a giving form. So that's why I resonate with it. And I grew up, the places I would play would traditionally play like country music. And I like how much wit is in country and folk music. Like the idea is like a strong theme. And then in the verses, you just like not belabor, but like you explore it and you put it on its head. I think it's a great form.
Right.
Anyone can hop in.
You mentioned pizza. Tell me about that pizza place.
I would love to at length. Cut me off when you're ready. But yeah, it's nice off a tour being able to come back to something like where people know you and they play music and I hear all my managers different taste. They shit talk me in the best way. It's very give and take. And it's very loving. And also I get to drive around the valley, listen to music, and nobody's mad at the pizza guy. People are generally pretty
They're
happy to see me.
you.
Yeah. So driving, music, pizza, and good people. Really, and you're an outdoor cat. I can be like, hey, I'm leaving for a month for tour. And they're like, great, we'll see you when you get back. It's so nice to have that third space. Or really that second space, but just it's very humbling, and I feel like I have like feet on the ground and people who know me as myself instead of just solely by the music I've made.
Makes you feel grounded when you come back.
Yeah, it's like I really respect the people who I work with, and I think there's some of the coolest people on the earth. So yeah, I have a lot of love for that. It's like a little, I don't know. They're cool.
Well, yeah, John Prine delivered mail and you deliver pizzas. Two greats.
Jim Croce was like a truck driver, I think, for a time.
Jim Croce, you truck driver. You know, is it easier to write songs sort of in the proverbial all season when you're, working in the pizza place, or is it easier when you're on the road, doing your own headlining shows?
I think a mix of both because they bring different feelings. It's nice but I think primarily, I think you need to live life in order to be able to write about it. I think if like your whole identity is to make art, then you don't have a sense of, I don't know. I like to hear stories from different people in different places. Like that's why I love the Moth Radio Hour.
Ooh, the Moth.
So I think it's important that you like do something else, have another hobby, like have another pursuit outside of music. And I think they can like really lift each other up. Is how I feel.
Love that, man.
Well,
that's why Taylor Swift is a lumberjack when she's not on the road.
1010%. Little known fact.
What? Little known fact. So
huge football fan.
You've got a super story career, and thank you for sharing that, because I think a lot of people need to understand that and how it shines through your music. You've gotten a moment where, right, you moved to LA, you get to experience the music business full throttle. What surprised you most when you originally moved to LA and stepped inside the music business?
It really takes a village. No one does it on solely their own. There has to be like, you need business management, an agent, manager, like those, like team members, and you making art and like primarily like short form and social marketing and whatever. Like you gotta like, it's not just about the art you make. You gotta like package it. Like you can make the best, like if a tree fall, like if an EP drops in the middle of the woods, you know what I'm saying? And no one's around to hear it. Did you drop music that year? Yeah, but
that's
so
a good
it's not
analogy.
just about making the music. You got to tell people that you made something. And that was the part that I struggled with, and I hated showing my face for the longest time. And luckily people have been extremely kind to me. And I've had so many support systems and help with my head and with my community of people I know. So yeah, no, social media, it's one big humiliation ritual. Hop on in. But tell people you made something. It's important. I want to hear it. I want my friends to tell me they made something because I love them and I love the stuff they make.
When music, when did it start becoming not so much a hobby as more something that, defines you? Or do you consider it maybe I'm a musician part-time, I'm a pizza guy the other time?
Yeah, I mean, like having totally different like physical spaces. I like the idea of having physical spaces that I be the person in those spaces. You know what I mean? So it helps walking through a door frame helps me break those parts of my character like into different fractions. So I like that. When did it stop becoming a hobby? I got signed pretty young, so I was like 19, 3 years of high school under my belt, and booked it to California. And then, mind you, I was there for like 6 years, and I would constantly visit Virginia just to touch grass and be home. Or people who know me for myself. So yeah, that's when I was like starting to take it serious, and then later, once I was my own manager for a time, understanding like more so the business aspect helped me care more about promotion, about taking what I'm doing serious in the sense of being regimented and time budgeting. And it's not just it's not just about the art you make, it's how you communicate with the people you work with. It's about consistency with promotion. It's about constantly being in practice of making stuff and producing your own stuff. Like, artists have a lot of hats on their heads. There's stuff outside the out of music that you have to participate in, and music makes me care about those things, like organizing stays on the road, and who I'm gonna tour with, and how this is all gonna work. So now I actually care about looking at P&Ls and stuff because it relates to music and the thing I want to do.
Music MBA with John Robert.
Yeah. So somebody was asking me, I was going to say, Ben, one of our fans of our show was asking me who we have coming up. And I said, this guy, young man named John Robert. And they said, explain what kind of music does he make? And I said, how much time do you have? Because I don't know if there is a genre that describes you, John, especially this new EP, which, I mean, your voice goes in a million different directions. And I think there's a dance song on there. I mean, Did It Just Because, I think you can move to that one.
Yeah.
And then you got Low Roller, which seems to be a biographical song about maybe growing up where you grew up. So tell me about what people, when they hear you, what do you want people to expect?
I hate to belabor marketing, but it is like an important thing, and I had to like learn to make my peace with it as far as like it being a part of the job. My rule of thumb, the scary thing is like, I'm stressing my manager and agent out as far as like, okay, if we pitch him for bills, who are we going to pitch him for? Because like sometimes the music like turns in different styles and directions, and it'd be easier if I just like picked a lane, I guess. But for me, I have to genuinely be excited about what I'm making in the moment, so that I feel empowered to scream a million times, hey, listen to this, because I actually like it. It sucks when you promote stuff you don't like, or are pigeonholed to like, or beholden to. So I make music that I'm into at the moment, things I think are cool. And then I just let everyone else tell me what style it is. I don't really care to tell them like what I've made. That's like, I put it in this medium so that you could describe it. I'm not going to like make something and then tell you what it is. I don't know. That's up to you. So yeah, I move on very fast, and I really love music, and that's it. Whatever I'm excited about, I'll make it.
That's what I like. I like to hear that, though, that you're not just going to pigeonhole yourself as a country artist or a folk artist or an indie artist. You're making all kinds of different sounds.
Well, because I love all the styles. Like, it's like me doing a different style is no shade to another style. I think they're all rad as fuck, or rad as heck.
Rad as heck. Could we get I would like some hip hop maybe written onto that pizza van one of these days.
No, it's a long storied art form. It's not my bag.
Well,
With respect to all the creators.
How do they find you in your basement before you continue? How did they, because you're in your
Yeah.
basement, you're making music, you're writing music, you're inspired by Shenandoah world there. What happened? How did they find you?
My father would post me doing covers, and then okay, I don't bring it up all the time, but I got on Ellen. She gave me
Oh,
$5,000 in Guitar Center, and through Guitar Center, I could buy a laptop and also
mm,
an interface, monitors. So that's where I got the money to self-produce, and I got really
Oh,
into that. Um,
cool.
mm,
so and then I was just like pitching songs, and I was like following Instagram as far as like, okay, this artist and who are the background players, and then I would just cold DM, be like, yo, check me out,
Okay.
please.
Yeah.
And then
hustling.
by way of doing that, I was gonna go to Berklee College of Music, and then met this guy, and then he introduced me to Ricky and the Nice Life crew. Ricky is fabulous, still one of my all-time idols, just someone I would like to model my life after. As far as like how he talks about people, how he operates, he's just a very class act through and through. And so then I met them, and they like met my parents. That's what I appreciate, when people like meet my folks or
Yeah.
meet
And
me
you're
in
19
person.
years old. Yeah, you're a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they put faith in me, and I got to learn a lot through the label process. And then since being independent, you got nothing to lose. And so I make demos that I think my friends would think are cool, and that I genuinely think are cool.
Mm,
And so, yeah, I don't have to be beholden to Elaine or anyone else's. Like, there's a lot of, when you're signed, because there's money involved, there's a lot of like whispering in your ear and a lot of pulling in different directions. When you're independent and shit's not going great, or stuff's not going great, no one cares, and also you're like to your own devices. So that's been super liberating.
What's one thing you would like people to start doing when they come see you? And what's one thing you would like them to stop doing when they come see you?
Something I would like, as far as like a start, and something I appreciate, um if you take a video, could you send it to me? I gotta mark it every day, and I'd love to chop it up and use that. Also, just at me, it's my name. That all that like really helps. Like, on top of everything you did to get there and be there, that little extra thing genuinely means the world to me. As far as like stop doing, I'm thinking more so for the rest of the crowd's enjoyment. Um, like, I think there's like sing along parts, but sometimes it's like, nah, do whatever. I don't like. I've at this
you wanted to
stage,
say sometimes they're
if
not
you
sing
showed
along
up,
parts.
you said it.
So,
But I think but yeah, if you like, oh, um, I appreciate like holding space and quiet, but also if there's something you like you can hoot and holler. If you let me know you like something, it makes me that much more like, it should be like an interaction instead of like a sit and watch entirely. So I think there's like a fine line. Shout out, I know Texas did it really well. LA did it really well. There's like more of an interaction. But I love all my cities equally, and I love being a touring artist.
Right on.
well, what?
So
I
What's
do not have a
the
favorite child.
what's the weirdest compliment you've ever gotten after a show? Do you have a somebody said something that is just out there a little bit?
Trying to think of someone doing too much. No, I for some reason people who listen to my stuff are sometimes like they're just like super. I'm fortunate enough to where people have been like extremely respectful and really kind. I don't think anyone said something too crazy. Um,
Nobody asked you to sign your a shoe or a sock or something.
Oh, actually, you know what? Okay, thank you. Someone asked me to sign their EpiPen, and I take that as the highest honor I've ever had.
Quick, give me the John Robert. Ugh, thank you.
Quick, hand me my medical device. I need his name on it.
This is John Robert on it. His name.
That definitely is weird.
No, but I love it. I think that's rad.
So fact check me if this is wrong, John Robert, but you opened up for Liam Gallagher one time.
Yes, I did.
Is that correct? And then you ended up, and you were irritated because they sold out before you could get it to your people. So after the Liam Gallagher show, you went across the park and performed. Then you performed a free show across the street in the park afterwards.
Oh, I actually did do that. So I wasn't irritated. I think it was more so like they could have chosen anybody. What a privileged position to be in, to be the opener. It more of like on an imposter syndrome tip. And also how that gig came about was there's this website, like I got like some cold DMs and then I responded to that, and then it led me to like there were reps of a website, and the website sounded fake. And I was like, yeah, right, but I'll like do my due diligence. And then got on a call with them. This is while I was my own manager. And then I was like, yeah, if anything comes up, randomly got an email of like, hey, would you like to do this? And then I forwarded it to my agent and the label. I was like, hey, can I do this? So I fished myself the gig, which is crazy. And then, yes,
Liam
because
Gallagher. God.
Yeah, and I figured since I'm already in New York, from LA, and it was sold out, and like, you know, I don't think you like tickets right now, especially for a show like that, wildly expensive. How it works is wrong, as far as like price gouging when it comes to tickets. So I figured like, well, I'm like able-bodied and I'm free, and so I just went to the park and said, whoever wants to come can come. I'd love to play for anyone who cares. And then yeah, it was really nice to like meet people in person. And I don't get to do that all the time, sometimes with the internet. So actually being there in the flesh and seeing people who like music and they're in their flesh was really cool, and felt like it didn't cost me nothing. I was already there. So yeah, that was rad.
Though. I
mean, it would have been worse if no one showed up.
I'm doing a free show after Liam Gallagher. No one comes.
No one comes.
I guess technically you're busking at that point.
Yeah, for pigeons or whatever.
Did you get to play Wonderwall?
No, I didn't. I did think about opening. He didn't play any Oasis stuff because it was him and Rostones, I think. By the way, their early stuff is killer. I think they're kind of cutting edge for what they were doing with their Sonics.
You played with, or you opened for a tour with Leon Bridges. Am I right on that?
Yeah, their opener had like a family emergency or something, and we had the same like management company at the time. So I teamed up with this band called King Garbage as a backing band. They're rad as all get out. They introduced me to Tom Waits and D'Angelo. And we just played.
Introduce us to Tom Waits, please. That would be lovely.
What's he building in there? He keeps getting mail, but he knows nobody. What's he building in there?
How do you get up for that when you're going to play for open for Liam, or somebody of Leon Bridges, magnitude?
You just do your best.
Yeah.
You just try your best.
Do you freak out at all, or you're like, no, this is just like, okay, it's cool?
Nah, I feel like pretty confident for like performance wise. Like it feels like an open notes test. Like I studied, and like we have what we do in the bag. So I feel pretty good when it comes to like most performances. yeah, the mental headspace. I don't know. You just literally get up and do it. I don't know.
You're a professional.
I don't know how to anticipate. Yeah, I don't know. You just try. A lot of it's
Well,
just trying.
Final one from me, Ben. He seems like
man.
a student of music and loving to find new artists. I'm curious, John Robert, who are some artists that you're listening to right now, or some songs that we should have on our radar as lovers of finding new music?
Damn, without going into my Spotify. Oh, this is more of a throwback, but there's this dude Lattimore, who like made this funk project. He's super rad. It's really sultry. Like he had a song like "It ain't where you been, it's where you're going. It ain't what you did, it's what you're doing. It ain't where you slept, if it's where you're sleeping." And like I love that song, like the whole mentality of it. Really love, and I keep coming back to. Curtis Mayfield knocks it out of the park for me, time and time again. Trying to think who else.
We had
feel and music.
Devin Allman on, and that's his all-time favorite artist.
Yeah.
Curtis
In fact,
Mayfield.
Devin
Curtis?
Allman, the only tattoo he has is of Curtis Mayfield on his arm. He
And his
rolls up the
dog's name
sleeve
is
and he's
Curtis.
like, Curtis Mayfield.
Bro,
That's
he's
Devin
just
Allman.
like, dude, he's just one of those. He's just one of those guys where like arrangements and also themes that he writes to. Just great feel. It never goes out of style. Trying to think, even like on a country tip. Oh, Jake Fussell. His middle name starts with an X. Fabulous guitar player. Love his stuff. What did the hen duck say? What did the hen say to the God? It's a doc reference. Anyways, he has this album. I think it's like Frolic or something. It's all green. Keep coming back to that for the playing style. Love it. Oh, and Jerry Reed, dude. Amos Moses kicks butt. It feels like funk in a sense. It's nasty. So that's what I would recommend. Shout out Bailey RP. She posts all the time. I see her stuff always, forever. I love seeing her go at it. Velcro is rad. Yeah, I'm so inspired by her. So yeah.
Oh man,
That's
I
cool.
love that. John, you like, if the listeners don't love you now, I don't know what's wrong with them. Even if you haven't,
Much
they're
appreciated.
gonna love you before they even heard a single chord or lyric. And man, what a career. You're a young guy and you've already lived like 3 lifetimes, as a musician, which is so cool. And I love how you just seem like you're you. You're just like great to like hang out with. I'm going to ask you the legacy question,
Okay.
which is interesting coming from a younger artist here. What, looking down the road, years down the road, what do you hope the impact of the John Robert legacy will be?
Tap in with your community. That's extremely special. Go throw house shows. We need third spaces. It's really important. And also, especially in like towns that might be politically like pro-Trump or right-wing, and like it's nice to be with like, no, you're not alone. In general, and in the pursuit of music and joy and all that is good. So tap in with your community, and there's talent and there's a lot of unrecognized talent. Yeah, I hope that would be like be a focus, and also be yourself. It's the most interesting, is what I want to hear about. Yeah, I think that would be my hope.
Well, there's the gospel according to John Robert. John Robert, thank you for joining us, sir, on Americana Curious. Stay curious.
Gentlemen, thank you for the vibes and the great questions. This was a joy of my day.
We appreciate you.